So let me go across to our panelists. Today, joining us on the show, we have Ira Trivedi. She's an author and a yoga acharya. We also have Shonee Kapoor, a men's rights activist here on the show. I'm going to come to you first, Ira, because this is something where we have women standing on both sides of the divide. So I'll ask about some of the reservations which have been put up. That if women are given 1 day menstrual leave a month, which essentially comes to about 12 extra paid leaves in a year, it may disincentivize companies from hiring them. Will women actually face the brunt for this?
I think these can be optional leaves. They don't have to be mandatory, and I don't think that all women will be taking them. I think if women are smart enough to realize when they need to take leaves and when they don't need to take leaves, when an employer hires someone, they hire them with that knowledge and with that trust that they will do what's best for the job. So, for example, if you have your period and you're in immense pain, and there's, it's absolutely okay for you to maybe skip that day, make up your work for the next couple of days, and it's possible. So I do think that these can be optional leaves. If there's a condition where you have to take them, you can take them. And that's the way that it should be. There's a facility to be able to take them. I also feel like maybe I'm just looking at it from a company's perspective. If maybe they want to take leaves on specific days and in other days they can make up for them, like certain Sundays they can make up for them, or certain other holidays they can make up for them, or maybe they can be their other paid leaves, which they can work with. So I do think there needs to be an attitude of sympathy in corporate life towards women's menstrual cycles. And let me also tell you this, that there's many studies that have proven that if women take rest during their menstrual cycles and treat themselves with care during their menstrual cycle, then definitely during the rest, they'll be more energetic. They'll be, more positive during the rest of the time. So I do think that women bring a lot of talent, a lot of things that men cannot bring to the workplace. They bring certain, to operate in this world, you need both the yin and the yang. And, with the yin, there's a lot of advantage. And I do think that women's bodies are different, and they need to be, just like in sport, there's women's sports, there's men's sports, because the bodies are different. So it's a great advantage for companies to treat women in a particular way, because the performance will be better, the mental state will be better, mental health will be better.
That's a very relevant point. We have to work towards the best workplace cultures. Shonee Kapoor, would you agree that you must show sympathy at a time when your woman colleague may be facing discomfort to help out, perhaps the company or perhaps even laws from the state?
So let me start by telling you some data, and the data may be shocking to everybody. In last 15-20 years, the participation of female in the workforce has actually decreased in this country. It has not increased. The latest data which I have of this is from a source, Economic and Political Weekly, which says that between 2004-5 to 1920, the female participation in workforce remained static, nearly 16.6 to 16.8% in urban India, whereas it declined from 32.7 to 24% in rural India. Now you are adding one more thing to it, that the females are to be granted special leaves. That is 1 day, which L&T is saying, 2 days, 3 days, which various state governments are saying. And they also declared, all these states declared these leaves nearly close to the elections, the upcoming elections, and it was purely a vote bank politics. Another thing which I wanted to add, you said that Japan was the first one to introduce menstrual leave. It was an unpaid menstrual leave, which they introduced in 1947, and not the paid menstrual leave. So as much as I understand that there are specific requirements and there are special requirements for women on special days, menstrual days. But again, here the problem is that nobody knows whether a woman faces these problems for 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days.
But Shonee Kapoor, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but just to go back to the first point that you were making, is that there is a decline in women participation when it comes to the workflows, especially in the rural areas of India. Isn't there more of a reason to provide a working environment where they would feel perhaps more comfortable, to ensure that there is some kind of a work-life balance which is provided?
So, shall there be or should there be? These are not the questions which are to be asked in the environment where people work. Please understand that there are all kind of people who are employers. There are small employers, there are big employers, there are L&Ts, there are other companies also. Swiggy and Zomato was also giving work for
Yes, they
paid
all have.
employees. So please understand that in even L&T, they are giving only leave to 5,000 employees. They are not giving, extending these leaves to their technology and finance departments. Please read the complete news item. It says that they are not providing it to the department which is related to technology and which is related to finances. In the finances.
So it comes with caveats.
Yeah, so these comes with caveats. So please understand that for an employer, he or she has to see that whether the employee they are hiring, they'll be only for 12 days, 14 days, 12 extra days a year. So that adds up to nearly half a month. They are not working. Please understand, as much as I understand that there are special requirements, we are working in an environment or in the country where such things are very difficult to percolate down.
So that's an interesting point. So